kind of apologize for the last video that I posted on YouTube, or at least the one that I linked on my Facebook, where I kind of got a little bit worked up out here on the highway because I'm not used to having cars that close behind me. That person that I thought was right up my rear end really was too close, but to be fair to them, they were driving the same distance from me as everybody else drives from everybody else on 431. So maybe that's me just being a little bit oversensitive because I'm pretty new at this and I've stuck to the back roads. I'm just not used to having somebody riding that close to my rear end, and I know how bad you can get messed up on a motorcycle when you do get rear-ended. So, you know, I'm pretty confident in my own ability to do what I want to do on the bike now. It's just that last little thing is worried about what everybody else is doing now. I mean, I've probably put 800 miles or so on this thing. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but for the most part, I've avoided this highway because I know how dumb people get when they drive out here. So, but it's a fact of life when you live around here. You can avoid it as much as you can, but there's going to be a point where you have to get on it. So, might as well spend a little time on it, and that's what we're going to do this morning. So, like I said in that last video, after I got through griping for 30 minutes solid, I don't want to be that guy that posts up videos of himself griping about traffic while sitting in traffic. And especially don't want to be that guy that posts a bunch of videos overreacting to little things that people do, that you just suck it up and go on about your day. And don't try to make into a bigger deal than what they already were. And I apologize for my voice too. I've had a little shot of the man flu for about 4 or 5 days now, and I'm still not quite over it, but I feel good enough to get out and try to ride a little bit. So I can deal with it if y'all can. But I've gone back and watched some of my videos, and it's been a lot of me complaining about stuff, talking about how dangerous this, that, and the other is. That ain't really what I had in mind when I decided I wanted to post some videos up or ride around with a microphone in my helmet where I could talk. The only reason I even bought a freaking motorcycle is because I was watching videos of these other guys that do this, riding around, and how much just absolute pure joy they got from being on two wheels. And that was kind of where I wanted to go with some of this, and I feel that when I get out and ride. It's just, you know, when you look for something to make a 10-minute video out of a 2.5 hour ride with, you look for things that happen. And just like watching the news at night, they don't tell you every little good thing that happens, because people see that and they're like, well, so what? You know, they want to show you all the bad stuff because that gets people's attention. So it's easy to want to post up the clips from all the bad interactions that happen in traffic, instead of just the everyday normal stuff like that. You know, ooh, I went around a car, big deal. Bad boys, what you gonna do? I guess I wasn't speeding bad enough to get his attention. Anyway, when I go back and watch these over, I want it to look like I've had a positive experience. Anybody else that happens to watch these, I want them to look and say, well, man, he's out there having a good time. So that's the kind of stuff I want to end up posting. It may take me 8 hours of riding to put together a 10-minute video clip for people, or for myself, or whatever, but I don't care. There's a lot of fun to be had. I mean, I'm having fun just sitting here. If I wasn't talking, trying to think about what I was saying, I mean, this right here, just in and of itself, is a good time. But there's a lot of cutting up and a lot of shenanigans to be had when you're riding around like this too. Or you can just ride behind a pretty Corvette. I can't even tell what he sounds like between my earplugs and my own bike. I bet it sounds good though. Probably shouldn't be riding around in his blind spot though. I think the last time I've ever seen the highway this empty of traffic was probably the last time I was out on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning, for whatever reason that was. It's New Year's Day, right at lunch. Everybody's probably still home, hungover. I didn't do anything last night. I'm starting to get too old for that. Not that I can't do it, it just, the aftermath hurts for a lot longer than it used to. And you get to the point where you decide it's not worth it. The aftermath is not worth the good time anymore. Now you know you're getting old. Now, that, you know, you're getting old when you go buy a motorcycle and people call it your midlife crisis mobile right from the jump. It's kind of a long story as to why I decided I all of a sudden wanted a motorcycle. So, I've got a kind of an odd work schedule because I'm self-employed and I don't sleep a whole lot either. So I've got all this time where it's not really accounted for since I don't have kids and that kind of stuff. So I spend a lot of time watching YouTube. And I'll get hung up on one topic or another and I'll sit and watch tons of videos for a good little while about it. Well, I stumbled on these road rage compilation videos, you know, 10-15 minutes a piece of just cars mad at each other. I got hung up on that for about 3 good weeks. And over in my sidebar, the suggested videos, every now and then there would be this crazy, stupid, angry drivers versus motorcycles video pop up. And at first I didn't care nothing about that. I was busy watching cars. You know, watch people lay on the horn, lean out the window cussing each other. Every now and then 2 people would get out and try to fight one another. One would get out and start beating on the other one's car. You know, that's all fun and games. But, you know, even then, I kind of recognized you throw a motorcycle into that mix and somebody's liable to get hurt pretty quick. You know, either it's going to happen while you're still in motion and the bike's going to go down and somebody's going to get hurt bad. Or the biker is justifiably going to know he's in more danger because he's on a bike and you're in a car. He's going to defend himself with a good, you know, accordingly more vigor. You know, and rightfully so. You don't come up and bump a bike. You don't reach out and try to grab somebody's handlebars or mirrors or walk up and try to yank their keys out of the switch. Somebody could get, oh, hey, somebody could get hurt pretty bad doing that. And so if you're on a bike, you know, versus in a car, you go from, well, we'll just let the law handle this, to, oh crap, I'm going to get hurt if I don't do something about it. Maximum response. So, you know, you're watching this and you don't ride a motorcycle, it's probably in your best interest not to mess with motorcycles. Not that car versus bike is not hugely disadvantaged to the bike, because we're only on 2 wheels. We got to maintain our own balance. We weigh 2,500 pounds less than you do. All that stuff. We know that too, and we respond accordingly. You know, I'm faster than you. 99% of the time, the safest thing for me to do is jump on the gas and put distance between me and you. On certain roads, in certain traffic conditions, that's not an option for me, and if I can't get away, you know, they call it the fight or flight response, because when you get to that point, you got two options: you fight or you run away. And put me in a spot where I can't run away. You know, some of us are, we're going to fight to win, and we're going to do whatever it takes. You know, if you're in a car and you're not willing to really hurt somebody, but you're trying to make a point, show your temper a little bit, you know, kind of bear in mind that there's people out there that will flip that around on you in a hurry and use that as a teaching moment for you. And you're liable to get hurt. That was not where I ended up. Not where I intended for this little talk to end up at. I don't know how we got from where I started to where I am now. Sometimes it happens. Anyway, the point I started out trying to make was I realized how negative I've been, and I feel like I need to change that, give people a different impression, because this is really, really fun. And I want to show that instead of me sitting on a bike getting frustrated at other drivers. Having said all that about wanting to be more positive, you can't not mention when you're talking to people that don't ride and talking about how you interact with traffic. You can't, hey buddy, you can't not mention the level of vigilance that it takes to be on a motorcycle and be safe versus what's in a car. And it's another one of those topics that can get negative pretty quick, and I don't want to do that, but you also can't not bring it up. Because one thing about a motorcycle is anything on the road bigger than a squirrel can be the end of you if you're not being really careful and paying attention to every little thing. I mean, and it can't just be what's right in front of you. You can't see my eyes from either one of these cameras, I don't think, but my eyes are never still. I know I don't turn my head a whole lot when I'm going straight ahead. My eyes are constantly moving. Just trust me. My focus is completely shifting. I'm not trusting my peripherals, because your brain kind of filters that information out. You have to look right at something to really focus on it. So my eyes are constantly moving because something that's on the side of the road now, but it's coming at me, you know, even if it's a squirrel or somebody's little kitty cat or something like that. If I don't see that coming and I'm not able to avoid it, yeah, that can put me on the ground right now at 60 miles an hour going down the highway. I don't know if you've ever reached out and touched asphalt before. That's not the stuff that you want slowing you down through friction from 60 to wherever you stop at. And, you know, of course, you got to watch people too. People do stupid stuff all the time. Hey, buddy. But it's everything you got to be on the lookout for. And you got to have a plan for what if this happens, what if that happens, what if everything else that could possibly happen happens, and how to get out of that. So your brain's constantly working, your eyes are constantly working. The consequences, you know, it's kind of like being in a car where a lot of the times it could be not that bad, but in an extreme case, something that don't seem like it should be that bad can end up with a tragedy. But the odds of having a more negative outcome, of course, increase on a motorcycle. Because you don't have the body of a car to protect you, no crumple zones, airbags, seat belts, all that good stuff. What in the world? There you go. I mean, you can't ride and think about that, what if. You can't have all that negative stuff in your head while you're riding, or that's going to get you in your own head and get you nervous, and that's going to make you mess up before anybody else has a chance to mess you up. When you ride, you've got to ride with some confidence. And all that negative stuff has got to be in the back of your head, but it's got to be in the back of your head. You know what I mean? You've got to understand that it could happen, and kind of drive accordingly. But you can't ride like you're just waiting on it to happen. I have no idea where this goes.